Good afternoon. I believe that the relationship that people have with each other has a fundamental impact on the work that we get as a result. People do business with other people. The way relationships, the way partnerships happen in business actually do make a difference to the work that happens as a result. And I know this from personal experience. I spent 20-something years at Nike building the brand and creating new conversations with athletes over and over and over again. And I was fortunate to also work with Wieden & Kennedy, Nike's primary agency, for most of that 20 years. And that relationship, that long-term partnership, that marriage between Nike and Wieden & Kennedy allowed for ferocious debate and respect and the generation of new ideas. And people were focused with eyes on the prize of what we could achieve together in that communication to athletes around the world. And I've brought that thinking and experience here to Toledo in building Glasses Life and helping my company go through a cultural shift. And it's based on, again, Glasses Life, the human reasons to choose. So when I think about the relationship and advertising and communications, I think about having a conversation. Because as a brand, if I say the same thing over and over and over to you, you'll get really bored really fast, just like you would in a regular human interaction. B2B, business to business. B2C, business to consumer. And now, the really big new thing, human to human. Human to human. B2B is traditionally a bit of a stepchild. You know, the cool people get to do consumer conversations, consumer advertising, building brands. And B2B is a rational exercise. It's a trade communication. But for me, people don't think in their business head all the time. We're not rational human beings every day, every hour. In fact, we're incredibly emotional beings. And so B2B is simply a media target. It's where you place the advertising that somebody might see it. But it's not really how people make decisions. People make decisions with their whole being, with their heart and their head. And so B2C, similarly, is, again, wow, human to human. 20-something years ago, we were looking at communications at Nike, athlete to athlete. What's the insight? How do we build this conversation? And how does it continue to be interesting? There is no separation between your business life and your personal life. I hate to break it to you. I learned this the hard way. As a young manager, I was going through a divorce. And I thought I had it handled. Why? I didn't need to tell anyone. It was a very private thing. I didn't need to tell my boss or my team. And so I went charging on through work. And my mid-year review came and my boss sat me down and said, "You're doing a great job." And I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And then he set the paper aside and he said, "Now let me tell you what's really going on. Your team hates you." I was shocked. And he said, "You're micromanaging, you're in their backyard, you're horrible. What is going on with you? That's not who you are." And I immediately burst into tears, completely fell apart. I thought I had it so handled. Life interferes with work. Work interferes with life. There is no separation. People get married, they have babies, people die. We lose our pets, we lose our loved ones, we move. Kids go back to school. It's traumatic. Life is juicy and wonderful. There is no separation to our work life. Get over it. Let's deal. Everything is public unless we specifically make it private. It is a shared and sharing world, and we're in it, and it's great. And it means that we need to continue to be aware of the brand, the personal brand, our authenticity, our integrity that we're sharing with the world, because it's very easy. All you need is a smartphone. It's so fast that we're out there. And fortunately for me, as Saga, there are only a few in the world, I've learned this at an early age, that authenticity matters. How I show up every day matters. And that's true for brands, and it's true for all of us in the room, because everything is public now, unless we specifically make it private. Agency relationships, clients, vendors, suppliers, contractors, teachers. We have ongoing business relationships of varying kinds. They can be very transactional and contractual and a one-off, a one-time thing. If I get treated like a vendor, that's not satisfying. However, if I'm a long-term partner, if there's a continuing relationship between my company and your company, and we're just like with a brand, an ongoing relationship and a love affair of some kind, there's a freedom that gives us to be candid with each other, to be full of respect, to tell each other the truth, to say what's happening in our personal lives. What if I'm doing business with an agency and they're going through a hostile takeover? Those people are thinking that I'm dealing with every day are thinking they might lose their jobs. But if they don't tell me what's happening, how can we get a better work together out of it? Wieden & Kennedy and Nike were married. There were mistresses along the way with different agencies. But fundamentally, that long-term partnership, even though the people changed out, that long-term partnership gave us a safety net and a way to take risk in our communication that made the secret sauce, that made us different, and that made us better. Collaboration is a word that gets thrown around a lot. Are we collaborating? Are we aligned? Are we collaborating? But really, collaboration is all about partnership. So what makes great collaboration? Listening. Number one, how will you know if you don't listen? How will we get to diversity of thought and sharing around ideas and getting to something juicy and new if we're not listening? Ask for context. Ask for what is the picture that surrounds this problem we're trying to solve? Allow for that risk. Allow for those different ideas to come through. Pick your battles. If you go down on your sword for every single thing because you have to be right, we won't get very far. Collaboration, when it's at its best, allows the shy and the extroverts to all get the opinions out on the table. And it's not easy to make it happen. Companies, departments, agencies, construction companies, everyone gets focused on the work at hand, the project at hand. We think about the strategy and the brief and the insight and the timelines and the KPIs and the ROIs. And we all get really focused on the project and getting the project done and getting to the end of the project. And then you hold it up and you go, yeah, it's done. And sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not. And we get very focused on the work. But as people, what we remember is how it felt. How did the team interact? Did we have fun? Was it worth it? Yeah, the result might be great, but if it was absolutely hell getting there, we might not want to work together again. So the experience, it's the journey of a project, of a production, that I find most interesting, and what I usually have my eye on. Because getting there and how you get there can make the result that much sweeter. And again, if we're just doing business on a one-off, maybe we don't care enough to make it good. Maybe we don't care enough to be kind to each other along the way and listen to each other so that we get a better result. I don't know of any human being, large or small, who likes to be told what to do. Most little kids I know, at a certain age, say, no, I got it. I can do it myself. Let me do it myself. I want to do it myself. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. And boy, as adults, really don't like to be told what to do. I've been in regional jobs and country jobs and global jobs. And it is evident to me that anywhere you go in the world, no one likes to be told what to do. So how do we get new work? How do we get somewhere? Well, we give people problems to solve. Give me the context. Tell me what we're trying to do. Give me a problem to solve. Don't just give me the answer. Let me help you get there. Maybe we'll think of it differently, somewhere new. The easy example is from advertising, which is the stereotypical client that says, make my logo bigger. The client always wants the logo bigger. But maybe it's not a size problem. Maybe the branding doesn't register. Maybe you're looking at an outdoor billboard and you have no idea who it's from. Who's talking to me? What's the sign-off? That's called no brand recognition. So if I tell the agency my branding isn't coming through, that's a different problem. That could be a size issue or a placement issue or a color issue or really a recognition. So if we allow our business partners and teammates to help us solve problems, it's a heck of a lot more fun. Candor, not honesty. There's a reason that I think candor is important and better than honesty. Honesty has no filter. I'm just being honest with you. Whoa. Or, one of my favorites, I'm going to be honest with you right now. And I think, well, what were you before? That's a little scary. Candor allows time, place, tone. It allows for the difficult conversations. The conversation that says, I need to kill that work and have you come back with a new idea. I need to give you the business context and the strategic reasons for why. I need to listen to why you don't agree with me. I need to be open to having that difficult conversation. That's candor. Integrity and respect, I think, are fundamental. You can't be real. You can't have authenticity without those two things. You can't get diversity of thought without respect, without opening up to something new and maybe uncomfortable. If you want to get past the safe and comfortable, you need to have candor, integrity, and respect. And I think fun gets left out way too often. Because if we're not here having fun, why in the world would we do it? Fun makes it easier to listen. easier to be open. It can't all be hard. Hard, painful, woe is me, oh dear, it's so awful, are easier places to stay in. Being optimistic, finding the other path, opening a new door, that's hard. But fun is critical to getting there. I believe the relationship that each of you has with the people that you work with the people that you interact with your home life, the relationships that you have, the way you interact with other people, fundamentally will affect the result that you get. And I know this to be true. Humans do business with other humans. Thank you.